Welcome everyone to the I don't have a name yet podcast. We're currently walking in obedience, and I don't have a podcast name yet. I don't know what this is, but it's something, and it goes according to what we're going to talk about today. My name is Ashley. I am 26. I live in the lovely Miami, Florida. I'm here. I'm starting a YouTube channel again. I thought my YouTube days were over.
Don't the stars light the sky?
Girls hit you, hallelujah.
Love you more than anything, but the words can't even touch what's in. It was so crazy when you scream my name.
Okay. But it seems like God has other plans. So I'm just going to let you know I'm doing this for two reasons. Number one, God has sent me to do it. I'll probably get into it in another podcast episode, but definitely this wasn't necessarily in my plans, okay? So I'm doing the will of my Father. That's number one. And then number two, it's always a good opportunity to have fun. So we're here to have fun. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty for sure, but we're here to have fun. But today's topic came from something my best friend said. Shout out to Sha, my bestie Westie. I forgot. I probably was talking to her about the podcast. And I remember that she kind of said it really, really fast. She like, well, stop doing nothing and start doing something. And I was like, ooh, that's good. And so I wrote it down. And then I went back into my notes and I looked at it and I'm like, I think that's going to be episode number 1. That was really good, Shaw. So we're going to kind of hop right into it. I'm going to be reading Ecclesiastes 11, 1 through 6. All right. And I want y'all to follow with me. Okay. So I read just the only thing I saw on Instagram immediately, and I knew that it aligned to this title, was a certain verse here. And I'm really going to amplify it when I read it and I go over it. But then I decided, and usually I always do this. I don't just read. If I see a really good verse, I don't just read the verse. I like context. So I'll go back and I read what's around it, what surrounds it. And so I'm going to read it to you. It's Ecclesiastes 11, 1 through 6. And it says, ship your grain across the sea. After many days, you may receive a return. Invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. If clouds are full of water, they pour rain on the earth. Whether a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where it falls, there it will lie. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Right there. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. As you do not know the path of the wind, or how the body is formed in a mother's womb, so you cannot understand the work of God, the maker of all things. Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle. For you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. Let me tell y'all, God has been equipping me. I was doom scrolling, and in one of those, there's this man just popped up. He's a preacher. I don't remember his name. I think it's Greg or something like that. But Greg used a beautiful, beautiful example. He said, a lot of times as believers, we kind of park our cars and we sit in a parked car and we tell God, just tell me where to go and then I'll go. I'll turn this car on and I'll go. And that works in the contrary of how God works. I mean, this entire faith thing don't even work like that, y'all. In scripture, we constantly see time and time again people going and then God showing. And there's a beautiful verse. There's a verse in Genesis 12:1, and it says, the Lord had said to Abram, go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. With God, it's go and I'll show. And a lot of the times, and it's hard, y'all, I'm preaching to myself because I have always had this bad habit where I'm afraid to make a move because I just obsess and I think that it's constantly going to be the wrong move. And so I constantly throughout my life will tell God, God, if you show me, then I'm going to go. And then it ends up being that I don't do anything to move towards it. I don't do a thing. And so God has given me so many words. And I'm here like, oh my God, you've given me all these words, but when are they going to happen? When are they going to come to pass? Baby, you're not doing a thing. You're sitting in a car parked in the parking lot waiting for me to show when I've already told you to go. And so in other words, as believers, we need to take action. And when we take action, God is going to start giving us direction. All right. Let me tell y'all something. Somebody sent me a really, really good word from Pastor Vladimir. I think he's Ukrainian. God bless that man. I saw a preaching that Pastor Vlad gave, and he was speaking about how God provides. This is what he said. God does not replace the natural with the supernatural, but he adds the supernatural to our natural. I'm going to say it one more again. God does not replace the natural with the supernatural. He adds the supernatural to our natural. Okay? There's a story in 1 Kings 17 where Prophet Elijah is commanded by God to go hide in a brook. And so during this time, God provided for Elijah by commanding ravens to bring him bread and meat twice a day. Okay, this is how God is providing for Elijah. God said, go to the brook. Elijah went to the brook, and ravens appeared twice a day. And what I love is that Pastor Vlad said the brook was natural, but the ravens, not so natural. And what he meant by that is that he started to break down some of the characteristics or the traits that these ravens have, okay? For one, ravens don't feed their children, let alone are they going to go out of their way to a human who's fighting for their lives, okay? Number two, ravens are scavengers and they, in fact, steal food. So they're not trying to give out. They're stealing it, okay? Three, they're also famously known for plucking dead people's eyes, y'all. I know y'all have heard the stories, okay? And in Genesis, Noah had sent out a raven to check for land. And guess what? It didn't come back. So this is where the supernatural part of God took over. The natural was Elijah going to the brook. The brook was there. Brooks happen. It's natural. The supernatural met Elijah in his natural, and the Lord sent ravens. Could have sent doves, could have sent pigeons, but he sent ravens out of the natural, out of the norm, used them for the supernatural of the Lord. So what I love is that God takes ravens and he makes them into his provision method for Elijah. God will not provide ravens if you don't go to that brook. How did I think I was going to become a supernatural superstar by sitting at home and doing nothing? I don't know how I thought those two were going to happen, but they did. That's another story for another time. I thought I was going to be Hannah Montana. But anyways, I'm sorry. At the end of the day, God is such a good father, y'all. God is a good father. He will not leave us abandoned. He is provider. One of his names is provider. That is the makeup of our God. And so I'm going to go to another one. It's in Matthew 7:11. And it tells us, if you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? Us who are evil by nature, if we can see a child, parents, if you see your child and you think of ways to give your child the best of the best of the best, how much more can a perfect, sinless, holy, sanctified Father, good Father, how much more is he going to give to us? He's not going to leave us abandoned. He's not going to leave us broke. And this is all obviously under the fact that we as children need to be under his wings. Okay? That's number one. We have to be his children. Okay? But once we are his children and we are adopted into in his sonship, God does the thing. God does it, y'all. And I love this because I literally just, like, when I tell y'all that the Lord worked this entire episode out for me, he sure did. I was about to go to Morningside right now to go record this. Yeah, let me tell y'all how the car steering wheel was locked. Before I went out, I prayed to God. I'm like, God, may this episode turn out the way that you want it to turn out. I get out of the house. I grab everything with me. I go to the car and the steering wheel is locked. I know how to unlock it. I know the method. Okay. I know what to do. That thing was not budging. What's funny is, bro, I came back in. I was like, you know what, God, that's not the best place for me to do it. You want me to do it here? That's fine. I'm here in my backyard. And let me tell y'all how I just saw my mom like 5 minutes ago drive off with the car. I say all of that to say that God is going to shift you if need be. As you go, as you start walking, as you start doing, God will shift. God will bring answers. We're talking about the best communicator of all times. And I'm not saying everyone's a content creator. I'm not saying that everyone is called to be an entrepreneur. But I'm saying if God has placed something in your heart, if God has placed a desire, definitely bring it up in prayer, but also do it. Move into it. Move up that corporate ladder. Do something about it. Get to work. Because if you don't, you never know. And you'll never come to see what God can do through your move, through your faith. That leap of faith ain't no joke. It's a leap for a reason. It's uncertain. Not everything's going to be certain. We can't just watch the winds and the weather and the temperature. And it's just, it don't work like that. Just like Ecclesiastes says, and just like the title of this video says, I'm letting you know now, stop doing nothing and start doing something. Yeah.